Okay, they pulled them off and brought out the next heat is what they did. So we may give them time to regroup or refuel for a restart, or they may have scored them as they finished. Don't know until we get the official word. Underway, race number 8. 3 Kawasaki's are modified Ducatis. Jackie Meadows from Poplar Bluff, Montana, the youngest and the only, as a matter of fact, amateur rider on the U.S. Kawasaki support team. Meadows has gone one on one. He's won every moto that he's raced in the first half of the program. His first time back in the main events. Jackie Meadows leads the field with Bobby Ecker from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Ecker is number 11. He is the Honda out against the 3 green machines. Mike Ames is the Valley Center, California racer, hot dog number 78C. And Ronnie Schoonover from Santee, California is number 48. Somebody went for an endo loop way out there on the backside of the racetrack. Sully calls it the back 40, he says. He ain't seen the back 40 of this place, man. There's 100, 200 miles of hills in Capitol Forest. There are trails. You better bring lunch, dinner, and breakfast when you go trail riding, because you can get lost and never find your way home. The Ducati Kawasaki racer, Jackie Meadows. Mike Ames runs second, Bobby Ecker third, and fourth in the field of 4 in the modified 125s is Ronnie Schoonover from Santee, California. So Dwayne Gerken from Colorado, that race will be intended to. The unofficial word is he may have had a fracture or some real badly torn ligaments to the lower knee or the lower ankle, down below the knee somewhere. So they have either taken him back to the pits or rolled on up to one of the local hospitals. We were nearly through a flawless day. But I tell you what accounts for the low percentage of real tough crashes here. The track preparations, they really rolled the jumps nicely. They put the slow ones where they should be, and the straightaways were flanked very, very nice. The berms on the top of the surface. All in all, on a scale of 1 to 10, on a racetrack that originally was built by Barney Rubber and Fred Flintstone, this thing has been cleaned up, and it looks good. Rock City, it is not. It is an outstanding facility. Jackie Meadows, 15 years old, from Poplar Bluff, Montana. One of the winningest youth amateur riders in this country. And he's the only rider, like we said, the only amateur to join the 1986 Kawasaki ATV Green Team. That means he races along with pro rider Donnie Luce from Lakewood, California, Steve Mendenhall, Greg Baker, Tim Helter, and of course, the leader of the whole green operation, former 2-time world champion Jimmy White. But the youngster that leads this race, probably the hottest under 16-year-old rider on the amateur circuit. Give him another year and a half, he'll turn pro. Look out, Marty, there are more green riders in the wings. It's pretty much a Honda Ducati war, week after week, ATV Grand National after another. Jackie Meadows way out in front. The Kawasaki Team Green Rider also gets co-support from JT Racing, Scott USA, Scott Goggles, JP Racing out of Trotsdale, Oregon, Armstrong Tires, Sidewinder Sprockets, Bellray, Motor Oil and Lubricants, Mitchell Reels, and Tsubaki rear chains. Tsubaki, you know they're imported. Imported because they were. Jackie Meadows, 50 yards separates the leader. The number 2 racer, another California racer from Valley Center, Mike Ames, number 78, Ames Holkoff. Bobby Eckers from Oklahoma City, the number 11. All of them making some super quick laps. Fourth in the field, Ronnie Schoonover from Santee, California. Schoonover, number 48. Mike Ames from Valley Center. He's got a few other sponsors that carry him around the local amateur circuit. Accessories Plus, Clement O'Neill, Daveco Racing Fuel, Scott USA, and Maxima Oils. A lot of the local California riders use Maxima as one of their major sponsors. Maxima also is the key effort and the dollars behind Lowell Thomas. If you've been keeping current with motocross, you know who he is. Probably the hottest young Kawasaki racer in motocross out of the Northwest. And he was here a couple weeks ago when we hosted the Loretta Lynn Dude Ranch qualifier here at the ORV Park. And Lowell Thomas did like Jackie Meadows. He won moto after moto after moto. He went undefeated for the afternoon. A total, I think he turned in about 85 to 90 laps on the day before the afternoon ended. He was a tired Lowell Thomas, but super racer. He really was. So is Jackie Meadows, the youngest Team Green support rider, 15 years old. What did he run? 4 heats in the first half of the program. 4 times 8, 48, 50 laps. He's going on plus 65 laps at this point right here. But Jackie Meadows, 50 yards separates first to second. Modified KXC Ducatis by Kawasaki. These ones run the kit fabricated frames. They run liquid cooled. KX 125 Kawasaki motors, and the Honda, the same thing. The Bobby Eckers, it is a CR 125R modified in a 3-wheel ATV frame. I tell you, Ronnie Schoonover's no slow rider either, as he is cranking out some quick laps. But in 4th place, he's still looking at 100+ yards to catch up. The young rider finished 4th in the first qualifying heat. It was won by the current leader, Jackie Meadows. We're just into the second half of the program. Main events for all of them. It is race number 8. Scheduled race number 9 is the 4-wheeler 250 modified race. Oh, and this will be a goodie. Dennis Randall was the first round winner. That rider comes over here from Idaho, from Middleton, Idaho. You'll see him up next. He's traveling along with his dad, his mom Peggy, and all the family. A little interesting fact about this next heat, if in fact we don't rerun that. In fact, Sully, what's the word on the Masters? Are they done, or will they rerun? Laps around for Jackie Meadows, who leads. Does he ever? 15-year-old youngster's put the handle on this door. He's got the lines down, and he's just powering out of the super burns. Good conditions on the racetrack. Fast where needed to be. Slowing them up, everybody getting lots of air. And a little point in fact we were talking about, running lots of laps and lots of motos. Next race, if it is, the scheduled race number 9, the 250 main event for 4-wheelers. The earlier moto winner is number 714, Dennis Randall. As today, in his first place finish earlier in the day here today, he has won 32 motos consecutively without being defeated. I'll tell you more about that when they come to the starting line here for the next race. 250 modified 4-wheel main event next at the starting gate. Supercross style starting gate it is, by the way. It holds 26 riders. It's one of the old metal drop gates like they used in the Seattle Kingdome with the Supercross. In fact, it's one they used there for the first couple of seasons, 4 or 5 years. Came from Pace Management, the people that promote the Seattle Supercross. And the Texas Rock Jam. Same promoters. Jackie Meadows leads. As we run second round, 8-lap main event. 125 modified ATVs. Kawasaki Motor Corporation from Santa Ana, California. The district representative in this area is Tim Casey. The local participating and supported Kawasaki dealers include Clem Tushers, Enumclaw, Kawasaki and Suzuki. 408 Roosevelt in downtown Enumclaw. In Bremerton, it's Cliffs Cycle Center. Cliffs, Suzuki, and Kawasaki. In the Seattle, Kent, and Bellevue area, there are a host of Kawasaki dealers. The Federal Way Cycle Center is one, Mike Belshaw's store. In Kent, Kawasaki, the store owned by Tony Bjornson. Kent Kawasaki, the leader in jet skis, ATVs, and Ducatis. They've been the #1 dealer for a long time. Bellevue Kawasaki in Bellevue. In Tacoma, there's 3 stores. Paulson Suzuki of Lacey here in just past Olympia. In Tacoma, downtown Tacoma, there's a Paulson store. And in Lakewood, there's Paulson's of Lakewood. Oh, are they? Okay. Masters, I previously introduced the four-wheelers main as being next. It is double on deck. We're bringing back the Masters for rerunning their main event. Masters, three-wheeler main is next on a red flag restart. We'll repull them guys down to the starting line. Let's call it a complete restart from here. Jackie Meadows is your leader. He has put it together, the amateur afternoon. Day #1, the 4th race from the stop of the Grand National Tour for the AA TVA Association. Governed and sanctioned by the American Motorcycle Association. The AATVA is a subdivision. But there may be a day when the ATVs take the front page of Cycle News and Motocross. Takes about page 15. It's coming to that. With all the glory of the Supercross and the Inter-Am and the Trans-AMA Motocross Championships, we look to this sport to keep growing by leaps and bounds. It's only 3 years on a national circuit. Let's start. 1983 was the first Grand National Tour. 84 and 85, this is the 4th season on record. Jackie Meadows from Poplar Bluff, Montana. I'd say he'd probably be the best bet for Jimmy White's job, huh? Seasons go on, or he'd be right up there joining him. Yeah, look out, Steve Mendenhall, Greg Baker, and Tim Helter, because this little guy right here can put it together. To win, ladies and gentlemen, the main event, the 125 modified, support U.S. Kawasaki racer, Jackie Meadows. The #2 finish. California.
This is beautiful weather up here in the Northwest. Masters, they're going to light this place afire. There's no doubt about it.
This is a restart for the Masters, and we will bring back Dave Markham, number 84. Gary Lomas, I don't think he ran in the first motos. Phil Herman out of Edmonds was 6th in his qualifying heat. Dean Frankenhauser, you recognize him as the Tiger racer. Mike Worthington won the first round. He is back again, number 94. From Shelton, Washington, Stanley Fye, number 666. From Edmonds, the operation manager of Sierra Motocross. He is one of 2 Yamaha racers in this one. Scotty Youngren. Dave Sutton Sr. is from Olympia. Sutton's number 249. Mark McCalla out of Kirkland. McCalla on a Ducati, number 22. And the master, Mark McGee from Tacoma, number 628. McGee rides a Rainier Honda, by the way.
Masters, is that a nice way of saying old?
Well, you got to be 35 and alive to run this class competition.
35 alive and crazy, huh?
I used to call them the Gatorade, the Geritol for lunch bunch.
Well, let's put it this way. I would not want to ride with them at all. They are a great bunch of riders up here in the Northwest, the Masters.
Years ago in local motocross, the Washington Old Timers Association, who in fact they put on their national down in California every year with special honors and guests being Dick Mann. But they were in the prime motocross years, 1977 and 78. If this were motocross It'd be easy to run 70, 85 riders that were members of the Washington Old Timers Motocross Association.
Well, actually, what we're looking at out here is a lot of years of experience. They were young, they went into the sports, and I imagine most of these riders have come from the motocross era. And again, a lot of years of experience out there, so they really know what they're doing, the Masters.
Well, just a couple of them. These are, for the most part, a lot of new blood. I would say Scotty Youngren raced motocross. Monty Fye did, I think McCalla did, but the rest of them, I think they're ATV riders. They came from recreational riding to become weekend racers.
Doing a heck of a job on this great track here at Thurston Off-Road Park. This and much, much more coming your way. AATVA, sponsored by Honda.
Well, the restart didn't shake him too bad for Mike Worthington. Won the first heat, was leading when we pulled the red flag on that one earlier for the courtesy of Dwayne Garrick and the injured rider who was down there on that straightaway. Worthington comes back and leads again. Mike Worthington from Raymond, Washington. Home of the Weyerhaeuser Mill strike. Worthington leads the Tri-Z as Scotty Youngren. Youngren's been in the racing business a long time, and third on the lap is Mark McGee from Tacoma. Mild-mannered, mischievous Mark McGee. What a nice guy. He has been truly one of the big supporters of Coyote Racing in the past few years. From the beginning of the ATV races, the early promotions, Pay Dirt 85, and week after week in the Oakwood arenas and the Monroe races. And at the Rainier Flat Track on Saturday nights. Tough competitor. McGee's best at the moment. He is third behind the Yamaha, Scott Youngren, and leader Mike Worthington from Raymond. The Honda, the quickest of them all. 6 speeds, 246 cc motor. Liquid cooled, single cylinder and 2-stroke. The 250R. Dirt Wheels magazine called it the finest all-around ATV. But they said if you were going racing, that you might want to buy a KXT integrated power valve Ducati. This is what they said about the Yamaha, the Tri-Z. They says, well, it's got a good overall power spread. It's strong and hard right off of the bottom end and has a nice, healthy mid-range. It is probably, and we're speaking of the Yamaha, the easiest machine for a novice or a beginner rider to get into the sport of racing. Dean Frankenhauser, now you look there at the blue and white machine, the exhaust and the Rotax Can-Am motored machine has broken loose and is hanging pretty low the rear fiberglass fenders. Fiberglass or plastic. Yeah, Frankenhauser's answer silencer is about to become scrap metal. The tune of about $49, $59, $95. Them things aren't cheap. If you're going trail riding anywhere but inside this track right here, you got to have one around this area. You look up on that hill up there, Capitol Forest and the Black Hills here, there are thousands of trails, hundreds and hundreds of miles, and the best way to do it, you got to have an off-road vehicle sticker and an approved U.S. Forestry spark arrestor and some good safe riding gear and just a little bit of good common courtesy to ride in the area around here. Open 7 days a week. The off-road vehicle park here at Thurston County. We're doing some serious racing. We got a lap left to go. The white flag signals 1 lap to go. The Masters main event. Mike Worthington leads. Scott Youngren from Edmonds, the Yamaha rider, in second place. First set and into the second of the triple jumps. Mark McGee in the blue, wearing blue on the red Honda from Rainier Honda in Tacoma. McGee is running third. The fourth place position rider from Olympia, also on an ATC 250R, Dave Markham, number 84. Markham is fourth. Dean Frankenhauser, the Tiger ATV from Tiger Industries out of Minnesota. It is powered by an indestructible liquid-cooled Rotax Can-Am motor. It too, like the Kawasaki, features a 5-speed gearbox. Stanley Fye is next. Then comes Phil Herman. And Kawasaki racer Mark McCalla, number 22. McCalla riding an 85 KXT 250. '84s at gold wheels. You don't see a lot of them. There's one down in front of your grandstand seats. It's an '84 Ducati chassis with a KX 125 motor in it. Belongs to Marty Betchards, and it is race ready. Marty's dad owns the ATV Plus here in the Northwest for a couple years. So that one's got some trick equipment on it. You can buy it for about $1,500. Mike Worthington from Raymond, Washington wins the first heat, leads the restart, wins the main event. The Masters main event has concluded for the day. Boring, Armstrong, Expert Cycles, and Mitchell Wheels, Priest number 17. John Nichols is the other 714 in the race. He is 714X from Warrington, Oregon. And from Three Wheelers Unlimited, Nikas and Portland ATV, number 132 is Al Daly. Oh yeah, here's a little bit of trivia for you. Tom Prees, who is number 17, races nationally on the pro circuit, races Odysseys, and you'll see him doing that tomorrow. This is his first afternoon as a quad competitor on the amateur circuit. So we'll see how well he does. I don't have the first round scores on this one. Only the winner, and it was Dennis Randall. Prees is back of the pack a little bit. Right now, second to the last place positions. In fact, that may have gotten turned around. Well, only months ago, this race would have been all yellow. Foremost in four-wheeling, it would have been quad runners from U.S. Suzuki. Then came the rumors that Honda had developed a liquid-cooled four-tracks. Oh my, check this out. His second time only as a quad racer. Out front from Spanaway, Washington, local rider Brian Leonard. The son of Don Leonard. Don Leonard and Sons bulldozing and excavating. And it looks like Brian and all that chatter about him may have dropped to Dennis Randall. He did that quick on the first lap. Larry Sauce, his third Honda four-tracks, and a Suzuki this time around comes up fourth. They were 7 places back in the earlier heat qualifier before we found the first quad runner. Honda made rumors. They made threats they'd build a 250R four-wheeler. Boy, and they did. Debuted them in the Seattle Kingdome with the Supercross. Then they made you wait 2.5 months before you could buy one. Kawasaki said, hey, we build a Mojave liquid-cooled four-wheeler. They made you wait 6 weeks or 6 months before you could buy one. It, too, has been released. Kawasaki sells for more than the other two, but, oh, well, check one out. You don't see one in the race, so we can't tell you much more about them. Unfortunately, Brian Leonard's got to follow the leader, and it is Dennis Randall from Middleton, Idaho. number 714. Randall leads Brian Leonard, leads number 41 and moving up. That is Steve Schorer from Peoria. There are 5 quad runners in the race. There are 6 four-tracks Hondas. It is race number 10 in the program, main event. Up next, the 11th race you'd be looking at? No, we'll be looking at race number 10. Youth 200cc Modified will be next in their main event. Jackie Meadows, Bobby Ecker, Brian Musselman, Tommy Moratis, Kenny Garris, he's not on, Eric Johnson, and Jason Phipps. They were the pre-entries and the previously signed up. 32 motos, undefeated. He's looking for moto number 33 and an overall win in the 4-stroke competition. The 4-wheel competition. There ain't no 4 strokes in this one. Liquid cooled 2 strokes. Number 41, Steve Schauer from Peoria, takes a power blast on Brian Leonard, and the 41 moves up. Leonard moves back to 3rd. 4th now is Al Daly, number 132 from Portland ATV. The motor builder there, Dave Eikens, the former motorcycle racer. From the Rose City, Portland, Oregon, Alan Daly moves up. Daly is number 4, hot on the tail of Brian Leonard. Number 5 is Larry Sauce on the Newberg Powerall Honda. (17, 18, 19, 20-year-old youngsters out there. Larry Sauce at 42, 44, how old is he? 44, 42? 40-plus years of age running against these kids, and Sauce runs moto after moto, heat after heat. He sometimes runs 3 and 4 classes on the Saturday night flat tracks. Speaking of flat tracks, it is a 4 tracks that leads this race, and leads it he does by about 85, 90 yards. Make it 100. Dancing Dennis Randall, he is flat smoking. 32 wins today. 33, he's looking at it. From Middleton, Idaho. His dad Lee is in the concrete paving business back home. Dennis Randall leads the main event, his first year as an amateur rider. Stevie Scheller from Peoria is hot at number 2. Leonard is number 3. Brian Leonard is still number 3. Al Daly, Portland ATV, the Rose City Racer, is number 4. Larry Sauce is number 5. No, Sauce is moving back. He is 7 places back in the race. We got some new 4 and 5 place positions. And the first quad runner on the lap with all them 4 tracks is red, white, and blue Hondas leading the way one day after the red, white, and blue day, the anniversary of the country. Did you make it through the war? Or did it come out to this one? Randall leads. The only Suzuki in the top 7 positions is number 7, Greg Ellington from Caldwell, Idaho. Number 6 is the number. He moves ahead. We better take a second look at these numbers. This rider is a lap off pace of your leaders. Here's our leader. Dennis Randall, 15 years old. Randall leads number 41, Steve Schoer from Peoria. Now Schoer Right here is number 2 as he clears the triples. Here is the bunch up. You look at this. Leonard is number 3. The other 7-14. John Nichols now has moved up to number 4. Brian Leonard. John Nichols. Al Daly leads the Suzuki of number 6, Greg Allington from Caldwell, Idaho. Next is Larry Sauce on the Newberg Powerall machine. 8 places back, number 9 and 10, a pair of quad runners. 250 Suzuki's side by side. They are Yakima's Kenny Kessler. Kessler is number 9. Just ahead of him, the 007, Rick Graham from Kent, Washington. Graham leads Kenny Kessler. The next racer's in line, number 251. Who is that boy? Well, that's the number on his helmet, not the number on his machine. Dazzle him, Dennis Randall. He is smoking. Why follow the leader when you can be one? American Honda. Hey, V65 Magman. 750 Interceptors. Right now in the world, Honda leads in the Camel Pro-Am Flat Track Series with Bubba Schobert. Honda's won the U.S. World Motocross Championships with Ricky Johnson. Flying Fred Merkel leads the road racing circuit. Honda has virtually dominated the road racing. They should with people in their racing department like Roger DeCoster. Look out! Holy, rolling over. Holy quad flip, Bat Boy. It was Rick Graham tangling with Kenny Kessler as they flipped end over. Graham's the first one to get back on. Here's Kenny Kessler. Says, we got a hell of an obstacle course here. I can't even get back on the track. And he is not gonna make it. He is not. Kenny Kessler is hurting and hurting real bad as he will go to the infield. Shaken and just cannot do it, Kenny Kessler. Well, that's too bad. Kenny Kessler, both his brother and him come from Yakima. They race week after week. He goes back into the pits. The Suzuki rider is wounded and wounded bad. Quads up on 4 wheels. And it was up on 2 wheels. How many years ago was it? 16 years ago when they debuted the first motion picture. Followed Dick Mann across the country and Mert Lawwell. On any Sunday. You probably didn't even remember that. It's been since 1970 that you first sat down a motion picture and watched that movie. The Harley guys say, hell, we didn't watch it on any Sunday. We were out watching Easy Rider. Anyway, it was 16 years ago that they first pulled out the old flick of On Any Sunday. And from there, I think motorcycling and motocross racing and flat track racing has just grown to leaps and bounds. This is a new sport. 4 years old, maybe. 5 years. New blood, new competition, new designs, new liquid-cooled motors. They weren't water-cooling them back in the 70s. In fact, the first liquid-cooled machine to come onto the motocross circuit was 19. The winner, Dennis Randall from Middleton, Idaho, moto win number 33. Nice job. Dennis Randall, his dad Lee, his mom Peggy, and the whole family over here from Middleton, Idaho. I hope you've enjoyed the weather here in the Pacific Northwest, and I'm sure he has. Randall to win. Steve Schauer from Peoria, the number 2 finisher, number 41. Third place racer, that was a lap rider. The third place finisher, Spanaway Rainier Honda's Brian Leonard. Fourth place.
Snack bar is open for your refreshment pleasure over there, right next to the gear trailer. Gear Racewear, get it on with gear. RS Videos here today, by the way, filming today's event. Be sure to pick up your copy, and here we go. We're coming at you. Bobby Eckert, Jackie Holshot, Meadows, Brian Moselman, Tom Marathias, Kenny Garris, Eric Johnson, and Jason Phipps from Mount Vernon, Washington. You got a Honda into the lead at this point. So a couple Kawasaki's looks like second and fourth. Meadows has got to be bored one of those two. 200cc modified again. The 14, this is the youth, 14 and 15 years old. That Honda is flat flying out there. He's not stopping for nobody or no jump, no obstacle. He is on the move. Well, I know why now, because he's got Jackie Holshot Meadows in there. That's old Jeffrey Wolf from La Mirada, California, sponsored by Great and Pro Line, Northwest Sleeve, and a couple more. Oh, you better sit down, folks. You better watch this one. You got some kind of main event coming at you at this point. You got Jeffrey Wolf, number 96, your leader. Still wheel-to-wheel action out there for first and second, third place. Get number 36 out there. In for third. Aboard the Kawasaki, fourth and fifth, icing it up. And your leaders working at it. Holshot Meadows looking for the lead, and he gets it. He's sponsored by the support people of Kawasaki and a ton of other people. JT Racing, Scott, USA JP Racing, Wiseco, Bel Ray, and a ton of others, Jackie Meadows. But it's not over for him yet. No way, no how, because number 96 out there, the Superman from La Mirada, California, out of Southern California, Jeffrey Wolf. A great amateur rider, no bones about it. He is in the hunt. He's in the thick of things. Number 2W, Jason Phipps, dropping it into the hairpin. Number 88, Kenny Garris from Sumner, Washington. He's in hot pursuit of his next position, and next victim right in front of him at this point. But number 2W, the big man, Jason Phipps from Mount Vernon, Washington. He is still in the hunt. He's got it back together, no doubt about it, and he's still back in the race. He's back into 1 and 2. You're looking at a classic matchup out here, ladies and gentlemen. Meadows and Wolf. They have done this time and time again throughout the circuit. Wolf, well, probably one of the unknown riders, amateur riders, and it's hard to say why. He certainly does not get the recognition that he solely deserves. And of course, we all know Jackie Holshot. Matter of fact, Jackie looking back to see exactly where Wolf was. Number 36 in the third position. to wheel, racing out here. AATV at his best. Meadows flying. Wolf is flying over the jumps. They're not going to stop him now. Again, this is Meadows' 5th race of the afternoon, running 3 classes. Now, you know, he's a tough. He's done this for 2 years. He's run those 2-3 classes on every Grand National event that he goes to. Supported by the Kawasaki people, and much help behind that. But how much can this little guy put up with? 15 years old, and with the likes of Wolf just, I mean, hounded him. His every little move. You make a mistake out there, and Wolf will get around you. For La Mirada, sponsored by Graydon Proline Northwest Sleeve. Number 333 in front of the tower, Eric Johnson from Shelton, Washington. And number 88, Kenny Garris from Sumner, Washington. Meadows powering his way down into the straightaway, right down in front of you. Again, still Jeffrey Wolf in hot pursuit in the 2nd position. Wolf desperately needs this win. This would be a great shot in the arm. He can get around the likes of Jackie Meadows. No change on the front 2. Let's go back in the pack a little bit. As right out of the S's are going to come down in front of him. That is the back 4 positions. 333 out there. Eric Johnson from Shelton, Washington, leading them all. Number 88, Kenny Garris from Sumner, Washington. And I do believe he's got some company out there. Again, the backpack has 213 doing it. Actually could be number 23, Brian Musselman from Auburn, Washington. And number 2, Jason Phipps, once again from Mount Vernon, who took that fall and at a 180. But again, he's back into contention. And still no change on that front, that back 4 action happening. Eric Johnson from Shelton, Washington, hanging on. Now he's got someone knocking on the door. Big Kenny out there, Kenny Garris. And I imagine these guys have raced before since they're off of Washington. A great bunch of riders from Washington. I got to compliment you people out here. You know how to put a race together. Bring some of your best out here, and we got the best of the amateurs here this afternoon. And again, a lot of them from the Washington area, and they have put on a stellar performance here. And start talking about stellar performances. There's 1st and 2nd place Jackie Whole Shot Meadows, still your leader, and right there in the thick of things, and he can take it at any given time. Jeffrey Wolf from Northwest Sleeve, Graydon Proline from La Mirada, California. Number 88's got his hands full. Kenny Garris has got Brian Musselman from Auburn right behind him. Fitz behind them. Back 4 action. We're going to have an interesting development coming at you very, very shortly. Your leaders are running so fast here. Again, 2 top national amateurs running with the best amateurs here in the state of Washington. Oh, a couple of gold down out there. I had to believe that's Musselman and number 88, Kenny Garris. And here comes his leaders now. Whole Shot Meadows into the debris, into the traffic. He comes around cleanly, and Jeffrey Wolf will probably do the same, and he does. But a bad break for Brian Musselman and number 88, Kenny Garris.
from Sumner, Washington. They're both okay. Now they're going to get back into the racing program, and that's always a good sign. We don't want to see any of our boys hurt out here this afternoon, and the ladies for that matter. Cannot forget about them. Meadows pulling away a little bit from Wolf at this point. The track is treacherous. It can eat you up at any given time. They're riding hard, they're riding fast. With the likes of these guys around. That's Newcomb, number 36. Number 36 on the Kawasaki. Your leader coming up on the slower traffic at this point. And this should give Phipps made a dynamite move on 333, Eric Johnson. Your leader now next to Johnson. Gets around Johnson very nicely. The backpack is broken up, so Meadows should get around very good here. On the inside, and he does. Wolf has to get around both of the riders, Johnson and Phipps. And that's first and second at this point. Jeffrey Wolf now making a move over the slower traffic. He gets away cleanly, but again, Jackie Holshot Meadows, he is off and away. In Porterville, Meadows winning the 125 youth. The 200 youth, this class here, in the getting second in the 200 amateurs. He's that is a national number 1 in this class. Here he comes again for win number 2 this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, Jackie Holshot Meadows. And this gentleman, he has certainly rode hard. This is Jason Phipps, and again, that'll be the slower traffic. Second place right now for La Mirada, California. Braden Proline, Northwest League, Jeffrey Wolf. Sit down, folks. We got some Odysseys. This time we got some Superstock Odysseys coming your way. It's already push and shove time out there as everyone's trying to get the shot out in the front position. Oh, we got one rolled over. Oh, awfully hard out there. No place to go. Crawled up on your leader. And again, on top of the hill, so the fall was a lot longer, and we'll check him out immediately. That's number 17, Warren Van Wettering from Washington, modified class 3. I think he's okay. I think they're going to pull him out on the track. We'll see what happens. Here's your leader now. Coming out of the back 40. And these Odysseys are going to take a heck of a beating. That's 114 out there. Michael Ferry from Williams, California. That's modified class 4. Or a class 4 Odyssey. Uh-oh, he's in trouble. He's off the track. He gets it back together. Number 33 in for second, Kyle Milham from Redmond, Washington. Sponsored by Totem Lake Honda, ATV Specialist Precision Boring. Number 33 has got some serious troubles out there. I don't like the sound of that noise as he drops clear back into the 4th position. Second place, it's Wild and Woolly main event out there. They're going round and round, dancing in. I'm sure they're talking to each other right about now. But of all that, number 76, Mr. Pat Lamb from McCleary, Washington, makes his way into second position. Sponsored by Finger 76 Distributing, Capital Honda, Upfront Racing, And this is his birthday today. Happy birthday, bud. Let's see how well you can do on your birthday. Be a good way to celebrate it. Number 34 now in for third position. That's Kent Mayer from Buckley, Washington. And as you can tell, number 17, Warren Van Wettering from Washington in the modified class 3. He's going to sit this one out. Something broke on the, well, it looks like the rear end is busted actually. And he's going to sit this one out. Another bad break as he traveled long and hard, raced hard in the first heat, but he's got to sit out today's main event. It's just, we're really glad that he is okay though. Now the class 4, 114Z, Michael Ferry in a modified class 4 Odyssey. He's from Williams, California. He's your leader at this point with a heck of a lead. The Odyssey on this track, these are suspended Odysseys, so they might be a little better. Maybe they're unsuspended. Whatever the case may be, this is no place to bring an Odyssey. And these guys come out here for the fun, the glory, the pride, do it for America. And they do a heck of a job out here on this great motocross track. We take it down to 3. The track has taken its toll this afternoon in this main event here, the ATVA Grand National. Still out there in front, and again, he'll be kind of tough to get at this point as there is a great vast space in between first and second, Michael Ferry. Number 76W, Pat Lamb from McCleary, Washington, sponsored by Finger 76 Distributing. Capital Honda up front racing, and racing on his birthday. Pat Lamb in for second. Number 33 was Kyle Milham from Redmond, Washington, sponsored by Totem Lake Honda, ATV specialist, precision boring, but he had the mechanical failure there in the second lap. And then, of course, number 17, Warren Van Wettering, rolls it in the mid-track. And of course, we got much more, including coming up next will be the 200cc two-stroke three-wheeler, and then the 200 modified, 250 modified, and then four wheels and some open classes coming your way. So hang around. We got great things happening this evening. We got a dance happening at 7:30, and the awards will be handed out and contingencies handed out here in this very successful race from the Coyote Racing Enterprises with a great staff to help out. Very smooth program. Riders having a whole lot of fun this afternoon. No change on your leaderboard at this time. 114, he is out in. And again, it says a class 4, so he is, running basically by himself in the class, the modified class 4. Wettering was the class 3, and then we had class 2. And so that would actually put number 76, Pat Lamb, if they score it separately now, your leader in his class, as he goes roosted out of there, out of the turn into the front of the grandstands. And number 34 still into the program, Kent Mayer from Buckley, Washington. The three riders at this time, they're pretty much on their own little stretch of track. As again, Kearney leading in a class 4, stage 4, Michael Ferry from Williams, California. The class 2 from Finger 76 Distributing, Capital Honda. And up front racing, Pat Lamb. There he is in that good-looking orange machine. And number 34, Kyle Milham from Redmond, Washington, sponsored by Totem Lake Honda, ATV Specialist, and Precision Boring. Back in the middle of the track, and they're still working on Warren Van Wettering's modified Class 3 Odyssey. And it really took a tumble. Boy, did it take a tumble. And he'd just like to get back in the program and race the rest of the main event, I'm sure, because he is, of course, several laps down. Don't forget, tomorrow morning, things kick off here at 7:30 in the morning with the Sunday morning breakfast. And nice people at the concession stand. They have opened it up early for the crew here from Coyote Racing Enterprises. So they can eat breakfast before they go to work, because at 8 o'clock they all go to work to practice for the pros. And again, we'll have about 5 classes. We'll have the 250 pros, the Pro Odysseys, and the Pro four-wheel division, the Suzuki Quad Runners and Honda 4-Tracks in that division. And again, some support, 204 strokes, and imagine the 202 strokes, and maybe another Odyssey class. We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, it should be a great, great day of racing. And as number 114, Ferry still runs around the Tower House turn here, still things well in hand. The point structure for the AETVA designated to don the coveted number 1 plate. And we have 3 of them here. We'll have several more in the pros, but 3 here today that are actually 4, Heidi Deck and Jackie O'Shaw-Meadow, who owns 2 of them. Can you imagine only 2 national number 1s in 1 year? He is leading in 2 classes, the 125 and 200 so far this year, and then second in points in his other class. As Pat Lamb. Pat, a good-looking Odyssey out here, but number 76 out here. Pat Lamb from McCleary, Washington. Riding off. Again, these are unsuspended Odysseys. I was wrong. But Pat, again, no one around him at this point, as they're all on their own little section of track, having a good old Saturday afternoon drive here at Thurston Off-Road Park. And Pat again, happy birthday, Pat. Here comes number 34. The awesome dude from Buckley, Washington, Kent Mayer. Also scheduled to ride here this afternoon was Diane Farney from Washington, but again, she had an emergency phone call, and I do hope everything is all right. But again, she could not make the main event. Wettering again, who rolled it out there mid-track. This is great. They just never die out. They never quit out here. They just keep on going. They are working still on the Odyssey. Just see if they can get it going a couple more laps. That boy was really moving, and then all of a sudden he got up airborne. You're later on the final lap here. Coming up next will be the 200cc two-stroke three-wheelers, and don't go away. Hey, this has got to be Donnie Wilson. Let's take a look here. No, actually, it's should be Jeff Wolf, and I believe yeah, Jackie Meadows will be in this. Pickett will be in this. Number 8, number 52. Number 8, and that will be Joe Philbrook. Well, Warren, he got it to, he'll roll it into the infield. As you can see, the back end of that just took an awful beating. Flat tire on the front, and the back suspension shot. Ain't no doubt about that. But he'll run it into the infield or run across the finish line for points, I would imagine. And again, your leader. Modified Class 4 Odyssey. There it comes now. Ferry takes a checker flag home with him. Salem, Oregon. And they're off and running. Here we go. 4 of them. 2 Kawasaki's and 2 Hondas. At the back 40 is the 2 Kawasaki's leading this event. Honda's 3rd and 4th paired up, but again, they're still in the thick of things, and this will go any given way. No one has got a clear shot of this. I thought that was number 8. I didn't want to say anything until I knew I was right. Joe Philbrook from Portland, Oregon, sponsored by Northwest Sleeve. He's in trouble. He hangs on to it, puts the 3rd wheel down, and again, he's got the likes of Jackie Meadows right behind him. 741, Rocket Rodney Pickett, and number 96, Jeffrey Wolf. Hey, this is going to be a great main event. That's for the best talent around, no doubt. It's for the best in the nation. Whole shot Meadows on the inside. No can do. Philbrook hangs on to it, barely hangs on to it. Meadows down on the inside line. They're paired up. The Kawasaki's 1 and 2. Meadows on the lead. Got a half a lane by a tire, and a new leader. Philbrook still right in the thick of things. Oh, he bobbled a little bit, and it's Jackie Whole Shot Meadows from the Kawasaki support team in the lead. Philbrook in the 2nd position. And 741 in for 3rd. 3rd and final main event for Jackie. Winning 2 in Texas first, and then getting 2nd place as he hit the, or actually 6th place, he hit the wall. He was right in the thick of things and had a little trouble, hit the speedway wall. And he back to 12th place. He worked his way up to 6th place position. And it might have been this actual event here, the 202 strokes. So he needs those valuable points. That is the class that he's trailing into second place in the ATV Grand National point structure. But again, this one's far from over, and he is a tired young man. We all know that, how many motos and how many laps he's run. And again, with Joe Philbrook and Pickett and Jeffrey Wolf from La Mirada trailing him, Philbrook flying over the jumps. Rodney Pickett, the local boy from Arlington, Washington, sponsored by Portland ATV, Mayer Manufacturing, and Gear Racewear. And Gear's here with our trailer on by the snack bar. Go take a look. Take a look at third place. Pickett jumping over the triples, the little rockers out there. He handled that beautifully. And number 96, sponsored by Northwest League, Great and Pro Line. Jeffrey Wolf, second, third, and fourth now pretty much on their own. Again, Meadows out about 90 feet. Jeff Wolf currently in fourth place, winning round number 1 in North Carolina in the 200 modified youth, second in round number 2 in Porterville in the 200 youth. We went 2 Kawasaki's first and second. Philbrook now has got some company with 741. Rocket Rodney Pickett. Second and third, that's where the action is happening now. Number 8, number 741, number 96, he's back. Whoa, almost loses it, drops it back on the third tire, and he's up, he's okay. Second and third, though, anybody's ball game this afternoon at Thurston Off-Road Park. And I do believe that Pickett knows about this. I know he knows he's behind him. There's no doubt about it. He's just running. They get the teams giving him the signals and the signs, letting them know exactly what is happening. And why these guys are dicing it out wheel to wheel. Meadows pulling away from the pack again. And if he can win this, that's 3 in a row, and that will really be a good boost in arm for him, as he'll be done for the weekend with 3 wins. Be a boost in arm for anybody for that matter. One of the greatest amateurs racing today, no doubt about Jackie Meadows. He's on support Kawasaki, not full-fledged Kawasaki. I'm sure when he turns 16, I'm sure he'll be right there with the likes of Mendenhall, Donnie Luce, and of course the great one, Jimmy White, number 31. No change on the front three as we... I'm actually looking for number 96, wondering where he left the track at. There's number 1, Meadows, number 71, Pickett, and Philbrook back in the third position now. Well, whatever the case may be, no change on the front three at this point. Closest in competition at this point, Pickett and Philbrook. Jackie Whole Shot Meadows, and boy, is he dialed in today. He's off to win number 3. You got to get across the checker flag. We won't be too premature with that this afternoon. In 1985, he got himself a second, the Oklahoma City Winter Nationals in the 125, the 200 modified. He got a, he won the that class, the 200 modified youth class. And again, 1985, he won round number 1, and that was right up here in Tacoma. Pay dirt 85. He put on a great performance in the stage 4 and 5 youth class. Second in the stage 6, which is probably this class here, the 202 stroke. Won in round number 2. That was in New York on the ice. Did some arena cross in Monroe, Louisiana. Great place. That's a great series annual there, arena cross. And of course, throughout the 16 race series last year, 1985, that was the man to beat. This year so far, winning in Porterville and second in the 200 amateur in the Porterville. And again, Texas winning 2, but getting 6th in this actual class here. Actually, he slammed into the wall. And you know that had to hurt. He's got to hang on to it for one more lap, and that is it. His job is done for the day. Rider number 8, Joe Philbrook, was the man that beat Jackie in Porterville on the 200 modified, the man in third currently. But this man is second, Rocket Rodney Pickett. A lot of people have got their eyes on this youngster because he is a great one. He is up and coming. He's sponsored by Portland ATV, Meyer Manufacturing, Gear Racewear. He's from the big, beautiful state up here northwest of Arlington, Washington. And again, a lot of the promoters and a lot of the manufacturers, I hear a lot about Rodney through these guys. They watch him. They say he could win here today. He was in the thick of things there for a while, but again, it's the Team Green support man, Jackie Meadows, as he's back in the back 40 now. Coming up next, we've got 20 riders coming at you, the 200cc modified three-wheeler. Hang on to your seats, folks. That's going to be 20 on the track. This is going to be good. And after that, it'll be 250 modified. Well, Jackie has done his job. I think this guy deserves a round of applause. Jackie Holshot Meadows, 3 first place here, a triple from Kawasaki support team. Brook. Do you hear them? Do you hear them coming? Here they come. 20 of them, 200cc modified 3-wheelers, and we're in for a heck of a race. Oh, 2 or 3 tango hard out there as one lays on top of him. One is down. He's off the motor now. He'll walk into the infield. That's either 11. That's Chad Carpenter, or again, number 11, we believe, at this unofficial. He's sitting on the infield. And another major pileup down on the back 40. Are they talking to each other back there? I think they're trying to get around each other. 20 of them, man. I tell you what, 200cc for their main event. AATVA Grand National, sponsored by Wiseco, Honda, Curtis Sparks Racing, Power Roll. Power Roll's there in great for us. Mickey Dunlap will be here tomorrow. Ron Fields, Jason Fields racing today. Going to be a great happening. But right now, I got a little different story for you. You got 5 riders out there looking for the number 1 position. And that could be a guy with on the number 1 plate. It is 1W from North Bend, Washington. A local guy out there looking incredible. Robert Curtis from Bellevue, Honda. And that's the flag man, my buddy out there in 2nd place. Bob Dowdery from Kalama, Washington, sponsored by CPEC of Oregon. The flag man, as he trailed that 50 feet of flag, must have been 3 laps in the first heat, and it didn't slow him down. And where he lost them, I have no idea. I think he lost part of the wing on the back of his ATC. We'll see how extensive the damage is as he comes in front. And here's 2 of the best of the Northwest out there, Chad Carpenter and Siebert. Siebert can't find the gear, and Carpenter rolls it heavily into that heavy pack action at the start. Robert Curtis from North Bend, Washington, sponsored by Bellevue Honda. He's still out there in front, the flag man in for 2nd, and a host of others. Look at 3 abreast for 4th place. 3 of them out there for 4th place. That's 414 in that there. David York from Valley Hope, Washington. Curtis, your leader's in trouble. Robert Curtis goes down, the motor dies, the kill switch comes off, and it's the flag man out there in the lead, Dowdery. And number 121 now making the bid in for 2nd place. Holy moly, that's Alan Anthony out there from Edmond, Washington. You know, I talk about these Washington riders, but they are proving it to you right now. Flying over these jumps, not giving it in. Heck of a battle working with 3rd and 4th place at this point. Curtis got back in the formation, but again, he's back, must be 6th, 7th position. Robert Curtis, 1W, has got his work cut out for him. He's on the verge of getting 1, and he does, gets 1 place better. He's in 7th position. Once again, your leader, 1W, Robert Curtis from North Bend, Washington. He's in the 7th slot, as he was leading it until the rollover in front of the grandstands. But Bob Dowdery, the flag man, out there in the front, and again, everybody's got company on this one, no doubt. 20 riders out there, and everyone's got some company, especially that 3 abreast out there for 4th place. 3 of them looking for 4th place. Looking for contingencies, awards, and those precious, oh so precious AATVA Grand National points in order to win and wear next year in 1987 the number 1 plate here in this class. the side here. Thurston off-road car. 200cc class here. One of the biggest. Again, 250s are coming up next, and that'll be 20 riders. Uh-oh, we got a bid for the lead. We got a bid for the lead. It's number 121. He's looking for it. Yeah, he's right next to him. I think he took it. He did. Number 121 takes the lead. Al Tony Anthony, baby, doing Edmond Washington is the new man to beat. The flag man draws back second, number 58. He's in third. That's Leonard Duncan from Lakeside, California. Leonard making a long drive up here to Washington. And now he's coming up. Well, actually, no, he's not coming up. No, he's all by himself. It's fourth and fifth now, as that trio broke away to two of them. Two riders out there for fourth and fifth. These guys are putting on a heck of a race. Anytime you put this talent together, you're going to have races like this. I tell you what, and I'm really sorry that we only have 8 of these a year. We like to have 12 or 13 of them a year to see these riders get together more often, especially at least 2 or 3 up here in the great Northwest. Anthony, pretty much he's broken away from Dowdery, with Duncan now coming up on Dowdery. Dowdery shuts the door on him big out there. Shut it down and hanging on to second place. Fourth place, that's Curtis. I believe that is Robert Curtis. He is your leader as of 3 laps ago. So North Bend, Washington now in the 4th position. The track has taken its toll this afternoon. These riders, they're riding just as hard as they possibly can go. Look at second and third. Look at Duncan make the move on Dowdery. And Dowdery has given it everything he can. The energy level is at its peak. The competitiveness and the alertness is at its peak. Slane, number 45 out there. And York, 14, number 23 also out there. And number 23, we keep the Brino from Portland, Oregon. Also number 235, Chris Bennett, Jason Siebert, the rider that had a mechanical problem down here. Again, one of the best of the Northwest up here. David York, 414. He's still into the thick of things at this point. Chris Bennett, 235 from Vancouver, Washington. And again, it was number 11W, Chad Carpenter from Bremerton, Washington, who had the collision right at the start. And again, that was one of the best here in the Northwest as he goes out early into the race. Your leader has got someone coming on his tail. Number 121, Alan Anthony from Edmonds, Washington is your leader. But he has got Duncan, and Duncan is coming all the way from the 5th position. He made his bid for second, and now he wants to win this thing. Yeah, can you believe that? That's incredible. I wonder why. All the meanwhile is Dowdery in third now. Back to first and second. Curtis is in fourth. Back to first and second. Anthony, this is a crucial test here. The triples. If he can get around them nicely and not losing position, a good chance he can hang on to this lap, leading today's event. Now, the 200cc modified four-strokers. Number 62 in the 5th position. And that's Jason Fields from Grants Pass, Oregon, on the Power Roll machine. Also by Sabaki Chain and Carlisle Tower. From Grants Pass, Oregon. Fields and his brother Ron will be running the pro. A bid for the front position in the back 40. Duncan wants the lead from Anthony. Anthony down on the inside. Duncan on the outside, and it's Duncan. Number 58 is your new leader at this point. Leonard Duncan from Lakeside, California. Ron Nemi, you have to call Dale at home. Ron Nemi, please call Dale at home. Dennis Kerr, Ron Anemi, or a representative of Ron Anemi, please contact him. You need to call Adele immediately. He's fitting with Dennis Kerr. If you know this gentleman, Ron Anemi, please find him. If he's on the grandstands, if you don't hear it, and come to the paramedics and they'll take you to a phone. Let's see where we're at this point. It's Duncan, the front runner, number 58, in front of you. Anthony in second. And Bill. I was talking to one of the Rangers out here at First Knoxville Park, and I didn't see this move. Jason Fields is now bid for third place. And Dattery and Curtis at number 23 behind them. That's Kenneth DeBrino for Portland, Oregon, sponsored by Portland ATV. Don't forget, I got to believe 250s are coming up next, and they are. 250s will be up next. Don't go away. We've got this and much, much more. Some of the main events after that, and then we have a great dance happening. We got a weekend to celebrate 4th of July, the birthday of our country here, to celebrate our freedom, the freedom that we can watch great ATV races just like this in such a beautiful, beautiful country on the great Northwest. All this, of course, brought by Coyote Racing Enterprises, sponsored by Honda, Bel-Ray, Simpson, Powell out of Grants Pass, Curtis Sparks Racing out of Lamont. And again, the list is so long, I won't get through all of them. All I know is it's Leonard Duncan out there running a heck of a race. This guy has got the talent you wouldn't believe that's behind him. 20 of them out there, 20 the best in the nation. And again, most of them right now coming from the Washington area, Auburn, Olympia, Staten, Oregon, Vancouver, Washington, Grants Pass, Oregon, and a couple of cities I can't pronounce. Shelton, Washington. That's Jason Siebert, who went down, or his motor fell. Holy moly, we're on one more lap to go. I can hardly believe it. Once again, Ron and Nemi, you need to see the paramedics immediately, please. You have to call Adele. Well, the big question is, does Duncan have enough stamina, and does the motor have enough juice to continue the final lap? He has got a mile before he wins it. A coveted event. Dennis Kerr or Ron Anemi, we need to see you to the ambulance immediately, please. Ron Nemi, see the paramedics. The final lap of the 200cc modified four-strokers. Again, 250 modified amateurs coming up next. Here in the final lap this afternoon, the 200cc four-stroke class. It's going to come down to the wire, I believe. Look at Perks at second. They're coming down now. Anthony and Duncan. Leonard Duncan on Lakeside. Oh, what a move on the outside. Woo! Yeah! That's number 62, Jason Fields. Duncan in for second. Fields robs Duncan of a win here. Number 121 will be Anthony. At number 23, DeBrino in for third. What a move by Jason Fields from Powell Road. Right here at the park. Oh, I hear a run. Let's see what happens. Look at that sight, folks. Is that beautiful? Oh, what? Holy Scott. They're trying to everybody works off well out there. Kawasaki is your leader. A couple Hondas out there. Kawasaki in the fourth place. And it's anyone's guess who's out there in the lead. Euro got Pickett, Shepard, Newcomb, Holtz, Slam, Valencia, Wilson, Westergaard, Hart, Mayer, Hawkeye Hawks, Jeffrey Wolf. You got Booth, Ecker, Jensen, Lindley, Rand, Soul, Sparks, Mark Siffert, Hartline, Frankhauser, and Bestchart into this main event. Some great names there. Familiar names, no doubt about it. Charlie Shepard also, Charles Shepard. And Jeff, we'll see who's going to lead this thing. What happens here? Charlie Shepard on the inside. but he is not your leader. Charlie Shepard, look for it. Now he is your leader. Charlie Shepard, number 36, Jeff Newcomb. Oh, Shepard bails out. Shepard loses a bike. What a terrible break for Charlie Shepard. It's a great break for the Nuclear Newcomb out there in the lead. Number 58 in the second position, number 82. That's Donnie Wilson in for third. Rocket Rodney Pickett in there for fourth spot. All the meanwhile, Shepard, he's got steering problems. Charlie Shepard out of the race. The man, the 1985 Grand National Champion from Bakersfield, California, sponsored by Paul Turner Racing, is out of the race. Not even finished a lap. He won his heat, and again, a terrible break. You know this man will be dejected, and oh, he is upset. But all the meanwhile, we got 19 other great racers out there, and the likes of Nuclear Newcomb. This kid is impressive. He's sponsored by Hall's Precision Racing, Lancer Leathers, Richard Distributing. He's from Glendale, Arizona. He made a long drive up here. And he's got, he's got Wilson behind him. He's got the rocket ship out there, Rocket Rodney Pickett. Heartline. We'll get some more numbers and names for you as they come across. Even in mid-pack and the backpack action is simply incredible. Wolf's out there in that pack somewhere. We'll find out number lucky, number 96. You got two Kawasaki's out there. Charlie Shepard is back in the program, and he's almost a lap down, but he's back. I tell you what, great crew out there putting it back together. More Donnie Wilson. Donnie Wilson is in number 82. He's from Moore, Oklahoma, and he's in second place from the Kawasaki people. Nuclear Newcomb is in the lead. Number 58, Ben Shalin from Tucson, Arizona, from Tucson ATC Supply, Looseburg Racing Product, is in the third position. Third or fourth, there it is, third or fourth. Number 35 in the next position. Number 35, Mark Separate from Beaverton, Oregon. Hey, I tell you what, this is racing. Now, you're seeing it right here all the way live at Thurston Off-Road Park. This is sponsored by American Honda. And, sorry to say, we got two Kawasaki's here leading the premier event, a featured main event here this evening, the 250 Modified Amateur. That's one of the biggest classes we had this afternoon. It is always the biggest class. We had over 130 riders in Texas. We had 67 riders in Porterville, California. And again, this is a great class out there. They all turned out to come to Washington here. The Great Northwest. And a couple of happy guys right about now. And number 82, he made the move. Number 82, Donnie Wilson gets around Newcomb. Nuclear Newcomb from Glendale, Arizona. Number 58 is Shalin from, I believe these here parts of Northwest. He's in third. Got these guys all over the track now. These guys are spread out. Take a look at each part of the track. You're going to see one heck of a battle happening. Number 103 out there. Number 628, Eric Westergaard from Tacoma. Chris Harkey, number 20, Doug Bayer. Doug Hawkeye Hawk. Jeff Wolf, number 98. Also number 98 also. Marty Beschart. And Dean Frankhauser, Jeff Hartline, Rick Sparks, number 51, and 237 also out there. Brad Rand from Kent, Washington. Shane Jensen, Bobby Ecker, Tony Booth, James Lindley. James, I don't think is in the main event. One of the two did not make it. Was the only rider not in the main event this afternoon. Wilson looking back at second place, seeing exactly where he is, the exact location of second and third. Number 96 in the hairpin in front of the stands, that's La Mirada Jeff Wolf. Number 23, he's aboard the Yamaha St. Jensen. From Cyclecraft Yamaha, J&J Auto Body from Spanaway, Washington, right here around the Tower House turn. Log with number 103. And number 103 is Mark Holes from Linden, Washington, sponsored by Charlie Robbins, Work Racing, HRP, BBRP, Steve Baker, Kawasaki. And he's aboard the Kawasaki. And now Wilson did basically the same thing last year, a couple of the Grand Nationals. We'll try to find the leaders at this point, as again we're all over the track. There he is, back 40. He's in the slower traffic at this point. And again, boy, Charlie Shepard, a terrible break. That's racing, though. That's the way it goes sometimes. The brakes work with you, or they work without you. And this definitely will be just not is going to be his afternoon. And now Donnie Wilson trying to get around slower traffic. And now still number 58. He's in the second position now. Dan Salimi from Tucson, Arizona. And number 36. This kid's impressed me. Jeff Newcomb from Glendale, Arizona. He has really impressed me this afternoon. Done an incredible job. Your leader was in front of you. The Tiger Rider, what a great sportsman. Back of the pack, and he just put it to a coast and let the leaders get around him. Great sportsmanship out here at Thurston Off-Road Park. Man, heavy duty racing out here. Great racing. It's still number 82, Donnie Wilson, into the lead position. We'll pick him up. There he is, right in front of number 51. And we'll take a look at the charts here. Number 51 is Jeff Soule from Tyler, Texas. I see Jeff, we're coming back with us here. And your leader, number 82, he's in front of you. He gets the sign for one more lap to go. If he can hang on this will put him right up in the point structure, right into the thick of things, and he's been there many, many times before. Winning the Oklahoma City Winter National back in 1985, actually in third place, won Baton Rouge, the AATBA National in Porterville. Got a third and a second. In the 250 modified, he got a second place because Charlie Shepard won in Porterville, California. And we're on the final lap of the 250cc modified amateur main event program. Somebody who's has a little muscle problem, I would say. And now Wilson, he gets the sign that nobody is in back of him. A very jubilant young man from Oklahoma, from Oklahoma Truck Sales on a Team Green Kawasaki. He's coming through the S's right now. And he's looking for the checker flag. 250 modified amateur. If he can keep the tires on the ground, he will be a winner. There he is now, folks. Number 82. Give a big hand. Johnny Wilson takes it home. Number 58. From Tucson, Arizona, Ben Salimi is in second. And he'll stay that way. And another Arizonian in third, Jeff Newcomb, Nuclear Newcomb from Glendale, Arizona. And the rest of the riders will follow suit. There's Wolf now, getting the final flag. Jeff. With me up in the tower as we're going to, the next main event off and under, Steve Mendenhall from the Factory Sport Kawasaki. Steve, tell the fans about Texas.
Well, it turned out pretty good. Starting out first of the year in Raleigh, North Carolina, my hometown, I had a little bit of trouble with some flat tires and went on to Portersville, and I run second in the 250 Pro, and everything went my way in Texas.
Back in Porterville, that was a great race. Marty Hart in front of you, but you took the lead there, I think, on the final lap, was it?
Yeah, on the white flag lap, he left me 2 or 3 feet, and I went for it, and we diced about going across the finish line. Good race.
And back into Texas in round 3?
Everything seemed to go my way. I pulled it off, and we're real happy, and I hope all the fans come back tomorrow to see a good show.
Stay with me just a second, Steve, as the next main event coming at you. This is a 4-wheel division. First place out there, hanging on to it nicely. He got some company, though. Ryan, great end of a perfect afternoon here. Again, chatting with Steve Mendenhall from the Factory Sport Kawasaki. It's number 99 out there doing it, number 58 with number 954. Oh, another flag man out there. He's wrapped up heavily. He's going to take the whole line. And this will be a problem. Hey, finally, he traded flags. He traded with another rider. That's a great move. Great move. But Steve, you're having a wonderful year. You're like, I believe, third or fourth in the points, and you're in the thick of things.
All right. Right now, the points race is going to be pretty close to the rest of the year, I think. The main thing's going to be finishing all the Grand Nationals. That's the main object.
You're going to be here tomorrow racing?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I love this track. It's rough. We're used to this back home, back east.
And, of course, you want all the fans to come and cheer you on?
Definitely. Everything helps.
Steve, I know you're busy, but thanks for taking the time for talking to me and the fans. And we'll definitely be looking for you tomorrow on the Pro AATVA, the main event. Thanks, Steve. Steve Mendenhall, ladies and gentlemen, from the Factory Sport Kawasaki. There's one of the top 250 pros in the nation today. Like I said, third in the points in the structure here on the 4th race. And he'll be here tomorrow along with Jimmy White and Donnie Luce and the rest of the Kawasaki team. And again, we're here to the 250cc 4-stroke modified. Number 58 is Rick Kentner from Renton, Washington. Number 954, Mark Naylor from Olympia, Washington. Number 99, Don Fletcher. Number 2, Doug Howe. And number 1W, Arlie Champ. See, Doug has planned this out beautifully. Here we do now at the awards around 7:30. Whoa, second place almost rolled it over. Great concentration by these guys out here as far as first, second, and third. Anybody's race at this point. No one's really giving an inch. And his first, second, and third is pretty much battling for the number 1 position, I might say. Number 2, Doug Howell from Olympia, Washington. Back off the pace in the 4th slot. In the awards and the contingencies and the dance this evening at the headquarters here on the off-road compound. And again, that'll be happening a little later on this evening. Beautiful berm, a berm shot out there on the the back 40 out there. They take it high and are getting a lot of speed. No slowing down. Second and third flying over these jumps out here. Again, flying, clears the doubles. Another one clears the set of doubles. The stunted doubles out there. And again, first, second, and third. Your guess is as good as mine as number 58, I believe, out there in the front position. That's Rick Kentner from Renton, Washington. But he doesn't have much of a lead. He'll definitely have to hang on to a very top at this point. But again, these guys are serious about this. Is the 250cc 4-stroke modified 4-wheel division for their main event. Going into the big hole. That's rounded out a great big hole out of that one. 954, Mark Naylor from Olympia, Washington is in third. Second and third place, not given an inch. Check out that battle on the back 40 on second and third. Again, Kentner, he's your leader, number 58. Pretty much 40 feet in front of the second and third. These guys are at all-out war here. One of the final main events. Our final will be the open three-wheel. That's the 215 above class. This is the 4-wheel 254 stroke modified. These guys serious about their ATV racing. Number 58, Kentner, back to second and third, wheel to wheel, flying over the jump. Great aerial show here this afternoon. Still in fourth place, Doug Howell from Olympia, Washington, having that problem. And then again, dropping back into fourth. As it's been told time and time again throughout the day, the rider's never quit. He's not quitting. He's not cruising out there. He's driving as hard as he can do. We've seen stranger things happen. And then that far back, going ahead and winning events throughout this series the last 3 years. change of pattern. Again, note that Rick Kentner for Rent, Washington is your leader, but it's 9:54. Mark Naylor from Olympia, Washington is pulled away nicely into second place. And number 1W, or actually number 99, Fletcher from Rochester, Washington, third place. Your leader. There's a lot of noise coming from the suspension of his four-wheel machine. I can't very well figure out exactly what it is. He still has a couple laps to go. 9:54 still in the second. He's going to have to face this again, just off about 40, 50 feet. He is not slowing down. Rick Kentner from Winter, Washington, not slowing him down at all. Riding very hard. He's got a good reason to do so because second place, 9:54, Mark Naylor from Olympia, Washington. He's in the thick of things. In fact, your leader just looked back to see exactly where he was. So he knows he has got to stay on the gas or lose here. The main event, win the main event of a Grand National. That's a coveted title in anybody's scoreboard, anywhere, win a main event. Four-wheel, modified, 250cc four-strokers. Doug Howe, Don Fletcher, Mark Naylor, and your leader currently, Rick Kentner. You see those flags wrapped up on 9:54, the guy in second place. Mark Naylor from Olympia, Washington, his flag, the flags, the Honda banners, wrapped up all in the front action, not slowing him down by no means. And they get same thing for third place now, as he took the flags and he transferred them to number 99. And of course that's Don Fletcher, transferring to Mark Naylor. Quite a move. I wonder how many times they've ever practiced that. Final lap action for the 250cc four-wheel modified main event. And again, after that, we got another great one, the 250-500cc modified. You got some weird machines out on this one here, and you got four really nice and funny guys, Cerise, Anderson, Dodson, and Timlin will be the four in that main event, and they're staged up. That's a perfect way to end a perfect day of racing here. The Great Northwest here, the beautiful state of Washington, Thurston Off-Road Park. The ATVA Grand National, sponsored by Honda, Bell Ray, Curtis Marks Racing, Powell Row. Oh, the Leicester Houston for that new 1986 piston design, and so much more. He led wire to wire. Number 58, Rick Kentner takes it home, and he's a happy man. He earned that one. He got the likes of 9:54 behind Washington, and he's battling throughout the West Freshman. And Doug Timlin from Federal Way. Who we got out there in front? Mark Anderson, the man from Tacoma. 999, doing some dancing out there. In second, Doug Kimlick from Federal Way. Number 84, Bill Dodson. And number 19, Kevin Lewis from Chatsworth, who was earlier taking photographs out of the race for his magazine, managing editor. On the answer letters out there. That's kind of interesting. I mean, that's nice to see. One of the magazines that support and inform the public of ATV, motorcycles, like he said, and several other publications. He rides, he races. So, you know, he has actual feedback. You can almost believe what this man will tell you in his great articles, as he is a racer, a rider, photographer, and a managing editor. Kevin Lewis from Chatsworth, down there in Southern California in the LA Basin. And believe me, they don't have weather like this or a sky like this. This is incredible. Our final main event, again, it's been a perfect day of racing, and we're not done. After this main event, we got the awards and contingencies to hand out, and then a dance. So we got a long way Saturday night, the 4th of July weekend, 3 days of celebration as we celebrate the birth of our nation. 210 years old for our freedom of speech, our liberty. And so don't go away. Sit down. We're really going to enjoy ourselves. And again, RS Video, they're still in the stands. If you'd like to pick up today's program, you sure can. Uh-oh, a couple of them tangled up out there. They stall. Your leader was no part of that. In fact, that is that number 17. And that is Mark Anderson with Tacoma. Yes, it is. And that's that strange machine that Rick was explaining to you earlier this afternoon, and I won't even attempt it because I couldn't even, man. He had this thing down pat, but whatever it is, this is a Suzuki product, basically, that he built in his garage. It works. Look at him run out there. Again, this is 250 to 500cc modified, so you can 350 motors out there, anything you want. If you can keep it on the track. Number 84 in the second position, 699 in for third. Rick, tell them again what our leader, Anderson, is riding. Hey, Sully, that's a former motocross pro from around here in the Northwest, Mark Anderson. And from all intents and purposes, the machine is a Suzuki 3-wheeler. It's an old RM air-cooled 370. It's got DG equipment on it, R&R Racing Research from the Bellevue Motocross store, Bellevue Suzuki. It has parts and pieces from FMF, the Flying Machine Factory. There are DG parts on it from out of the late 70s. There's motocross accessories. There's even the old exhaust pipe that Roger DeCoster used when he won the 1974 Trans Am. She is a vintage, classic piece of equipment.
You are right, Rick.
It's blowing these guys away.
This is like a statement made from the 70s and the 80s here.
It hasn't been Suzuki's years in motocross the last 3 years. I mean, that's a fact. You can read about it.
Oh, yeah.
It's got a lot of improvements to make, suspension-wise and motor-wise, to keep up with the high-tech Kawasaki's, the KXs, and the CR250Rs, and Ricky Johnson and Jeff Ward, and all of them. But just for the fun of it, though, on a Hamilton fun afternoon, this whole thing is flat, making some good laps.
And he is definitely the man to beat. Hanging on to it, Mark Anderson from Tacoma, Washington. He's been around the winner's circle a few times. Second place, number 84, Bill Dotson from Elma, Washington. And number 19, Kevin Saris, had his problems in the S's. 699, Doug Timlick from Federal Way is the third place. And we'll look for Kevin. He's still racing, but he's still backing away in fourth place on our final main event of the evening. Of course, things kick off tomorrow, 7:30, ladies and gentlemen, with the concession will open for breakfast. In fact, they're still open. But this is really nice about the snack bar. They'll be open 30 minutes after today's program so the crew can eat. And that's a nice bunch of people over there in the snack bar. They'll be open at 7:30 in the morning for breakfast for the crew, and then 8 o'clock. And, of course, everyone else can order, too. They have the breakfast, Sunday morning breakfast, the biscuits, the sausage gravy, which I had this morning. It was good, very good. 2 hotcakes and ham for $2.60 as a snack bar for tomorrow morning. Again, they still are open. Oh, Rick. Well, maybe I won't. Still number 17 here as the sun sets slowly in the west to the great northwest. I mean, this is the only place to put a race together right here. Thurston Off-Road Park. And much more things happening now as this is the Speed Week, ending up on July 13th as the Hare Scramble, sponsored by Wiseco, Oats, Powro, many more. Coca-Cola, I believe, has got a piece of it, sanctioned by the ATVA. Here's Kevin Solis now, still in fourth place, number 19. And no change on the front. Well, the front floor, there's still no change.
Elaine.
We'll pick up our leader down again into back 40 out of the Capital 40. As Rick says, it's not actually back 40. There are square hundreds of square miles out here in this great off-road district. But we call it the back 40 because that's just about as far as I can see. And again, no change. Anderson out there on that weird contraption of his. And also there, second, third, and fourth, still in the thick of things out there. Dicing it up, number 84, Bill Dawson, number 699, Doug Timley.